So when we left off last time, we had put a sticker on a new base material on a part that had a very basic aluminum base material, and then we also on the other put a display screen which had its own sort of brightness and luminosity. Now there's a few extra things I need to reveal, and I didn't in that first session because this is a little bit too much in one hit. So in part 2 right now, we're going to look at this long face here because it's not square and we need to deal with some more math. All right, so what we're going to do is start again in the same way as we did last time. We're going to try a display screen because again, this is the simplest possible way to get something started on this face here. So again, we apply this display screen to the face, hit the appearance, change this to some nice big number, 50,000. Now we've got our GPS. I'm going to change this now to a different image, and this is one that I had uploaded before. You can see them all down in my document, and they appear here. I'm going to use my logo, which is long, like this. Okay, so it's obviously in the wrong orientation. I can start playing with obviously rotation would be a good start. So if I go 90, it seems like a good angle to use. I could go 45 if I wanted to, or minus 90 equally, but say 90 is good. And you see that it's a little bit squished, so we're going to have to play with scaling again. Now, what I didn't reveal, it was a little bit simple, and scale, last time I didn't fully explain, and it was deliberate because there's a little bit too much to take in the first episode. The scaling is really what it's telling it is that it's going to put the full width of the image to whatever is 1 meter, and it just so happens that this edge or this face is 1 meter long. That makes it simpler for myself. Anyway, so it's going to make the sticker 1 meter long, and because my edge is 1 meter long, remember I measured it back over here, this edge is 1 meter long, then it appears pretty much in exactly its full size. It's going to try and make the sticker 1 meter high as well, which is in Y, so that's not good because the sticker itself is 1259 by 355 pixels. So I would need to scale this in Y by a much smaller factor. In fact, I would need to make this about 0.282 basically 355 divided by 1259 is about 0.282. So if I put 0.282 in here, then the magic happens. And now you'll see that the sticker is the right aspect ratio. Again, the length of the sticker here in this direction is correct because that is 1 meter. So it's mapping this 1 meter. Remember, these things where it says X and Y are actually in Render Studio in meters, units of meters. Good tip. Okay, and now we've correctly done this, and we can play with the offset a little bit like that. Now we've got tiling turned on, or a repeat image turned on, so we'll have it'll just keep repeating it for the rest of the face. This is where you might need to do a little bit of work in an image editor. If you know where you want to put the sticker and you know the size of the location, here's another pro tip. You can create a surface dedicated to the location of where you want to put this display screen. Measure it, make sure that it's all right, and then do a bit of image editing. It'll make this job much easier when you get to here. So that is the display screen methodology. Again, we can turn up the brightness and have it actually this will emit light as well, so if you've got something over here, you can see light being emitted from this pretty cool monolith that we're starting to create here. It's not the monolith, it is not, and that can be for another tutorial perhaps. I will think about dealing with the monoliths later. Okay, on this side, let's try the sticker instead of the display screen. So again, we start with sticker, add simple sticker. I'm just dragging it, dropping it on. There is a keyboard shortcut. If I hold Option and Shift on my Mac, it will apply it just to the face, which is what we want to do. And again, that is what we've got on the face now. So we've got the simple sticker, we've got our scratched grey plastic. We can change that now back to something else. I think last time I used this, I'll use a different color just on this face instead. So I'm going to pull a different material, drop it there. Remember, where it highlights, that is where the destination can be. You can see I've just applied some very nice 70s kind of wallpaper on that. Now for the color and mask, these are the next ones that we have to focus on. So if I look for a bitmap, we've got a bitmap texture here. Bump maps, that'll be another lesson. There's some really cool things we can do with that, and you'd imagine, you'd probably try it yourself. Anyway, let's go with the color first. If you remember, we needed to bring in a bitmap file now, which I'll use here from the logo. I'm going to go and change this to the mono alpha. Remember, going back here for now for the debugging purposes, because we're going to scale this and rotate it, let's put the mask to 1 so we can actually see something. Now, interesting, this looks like it's going to be backwards, and that's cool, that's fun, because it will introduce a new concept, which is the UV projection and transforms and coordinate systems that are so necessary to all of this. Won't dig into it into this lesson, but suffice to say, it's pretty vital. Alright, so we've got our texture on that. Let's go in and do our tiling trick again, or rotation trick to start with. Let's rotate that. It's a little hard to see what we've done because it's kind of come off the screen, so let's try and handle the rotations first. So remember last time we kind of did a trick where we had to this is tiling, this is the number in the pattern for a given length rather than the actual distance, which is what the display screen was showing. So if we try to change this to something else like 1.7 and then try and change the 2, 3, 3.546. So 3.546 is the actual number we wanted, which is 1259 divided by 355. So that is what we want there, and I think we wanted the same. Oh, 0.1. I don't know. Okay. We're on a different face. The projection is in a slightly different direction, and thus the offset is going to be a little bit different. Anyway, that is the same as we had achieved. We've got a sorry, let's pick this sticker. So we have put 3.546 and 90-degree rotation. Now we come back out again. Let's do the trick with the mask now. Let's select the mask and do the 3.546, 0, 90. There we go. Now you can see the magic of all of this, because the mask is opening up the sticker to see the material behind. It actually looks like, you know, we've laser cut out this, and you can see down here. It's given us an alpha blend. Now the blending is not right yet because there's one more thing we needed to do. If you remember, I deliberately forgot to do this, which is to change this to mono alpha. So now we get the full color of the sticker. And I can, actually, it was interesting there. When it takes with the mono averaging for this, it will bleed through based on based on the color, or based on luminance, or based on. But if we use alpha, then we're actually going to get the full sticker. So in effect, here's a little bit. So there's a little bit brighter, but it's not too much different than the first one, obviously, except for the rotation of the invert of the image there. It's pretty cool. Maybe it's something you were actually going for. Well, we can handle that in another session.